The workshop smelled of oil and ozone, a combination that had become as familiar to Abigail as her own heartbeat. She wiped her grease-stained hands on her coveralls and squinted at the small, alien drone hovering uncertainly near her workbench. It had appeared 3 weeks ago, damaged and flickering, barely able to maintain altitude. Back again, little friend, Abigail murmured, reaching for her tools. The drone, no bigger than her fist, emitted a soft chirp and descended onto her workbench. Its crystalline surface was cracked along one side, and the bioluminescent patterns that covered its shell pulsed weakly. Abigail had seen plenty of alien tech during her 5 years on Station Kepler 442, but nothing quite like this drone. Its technology was elegant, almost organic in design, far beyond anything humans had developed. Dylan emerged from the storage room, carrying a crate of spare parts. His tall frame barely cleared the doorway. That thing's here again. Abby, you really should report it to station security. It's harmless, she replied, already examining the drone's damaged exterior with a magnifying lens. Besides, it needs help. Look at this crack, it's gotten worse since yesterday. Dylan set down the crate and approached the workbench, his engineer's curiosity overcoming his caution. You've been fixing it every morning for 3 weeks. Don't you wonder why it keeps coming back? Maybe it doesn't have anywhere else to go, Abigail said softly. She worked with practiced precision, applying a polymer sealant to the crack. The drone's lights brightened immediately, pulsing in what seemed like gratitude. It wasn't the first repair she'd made. Each morning the drone appeared with new damaged scorched circuits, misaligned rotors, depleted power cells. Each morning Abigail fixed it, asking nothing in return. You're too kind for your own good, Dylan said, but his tone was affectionate. He'd known Abigail since their academy days on Earth, and her compassion had gotten them both into and out of trouble more times than he could count. The drone completed its customary post-repair hover test, zipping around the workshop in figure eights before returning to settle briefly on Abigail's shoulder. Then, as always, it departed through the ventilation shaft. See you tomorrow, Abigail called after it. Dylan shook his head. One of these days, that thing's owner is going to show up and demand to know why you've been tampering with their property. Then I'll explain. I was helping. You assume they'll care about your intentions, Dylan warned. Not all species think like humans do. The next morning, Abigail arrived at the workshop to find the drone waiting outside the door. But it wasn't alone. 4 figures stood in the corridor. 3 were massive, easily 7 feet tall, wearing armor that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Their faces were hidden behind angular helmets, and each carried weapons that hummed with barely contained energy. Guards. Clearly, the 4th figure was smaller, more slender, with iridescent skin that shifted through shades of blue and violet. Multiple eyes. Abigail counted 6, regarded her with an intensity that made her freeze mid-step. You are the human called Abigail. The alien's voice came through a translator, musical despite the mechanical rendering. I am, she managed, acutely aware of Dylan moving to stand beside her. His hand rested near the emergency comm panel. The alien stepped forward, and the guards moved with it. A choreographed show of force. This unit belongs to me. It gestured to the drone, which hovered anxiously between them. For 21 rotations, it has returned to you. For 21 rotations, you have repaired it. Abigail's mouth went dry. I didn't steal it. It came to me damaged. I only wanted to help. The alien seemed to taste the word. You received no payment. You asked no questions. You simply ... helped, yeah? Silence stretched between them. The guards' weapons hummed louder. Dylan's fingers twitched toward the comm panel. Then the alien made a cascading series of tones that the translator struggled to interpret. Laughter. Abigail realized. The alien was laughing. Do you know what this unit is, human Abigail? The alien asked. A drone. Some kind of maintenance or reconnaissance model, I assumed. It is a sentinel, the alien corrected. Bonded to my family for 7 generations. Its intelligence is greater than most species you have encountered. It chose to come to you. I don't understand, Abigail admitted. The alien moved closer, and this time the guards remained still. It reached out with long, delicate fingers and touched the drone. The little machine chimed happily and displayed a holographic projection images of Abigail working. Her focused expression, her gentle hands making repairs. My people have a saying, the alien continued. The measure of a species is found not in their strength, but in their mercy to those who cannot repay it. The Sentinel was damaged in an attack on my ship. It fled, injured and alone, to this station. Of all the beings here, hundreds of species, thousands of individuals, it chose you. A human, a mechanic with no wealth, no status, no reason to help. The alien's 6 eyes seemed to gleam with emotion Abigail couldn't name. For 21 rotations, you proved something I did not believe possible. You proved that humanity's reputation for compassion is not propaganda. It is truth. The alien turned to its guards and spoke in its native language. They immediately lowered their weapons and stepped back. I came here prepared to demand compensation, perhaps to threaten, the alien admitted. Instead, I find myself in your debt. The Sentinel's bond to my family is precious beyond measure. You've saved not just a machine, but a piece of our history, our heritage. Abigail felt Dylan relax beside her. She managed a small smile. I'm just glad I could help. The alien produced a small crystalline chip. This contains full access to my people's repair databases and fabrication techniques. A gift, though inadequate for what you've given me. That's not necessary. It is necessary, the alien insisted. And Abigail, the Sentinel still wishes to visit you. Would you permit this? Abigail looked at the drone, which bobbed enthusiastically in the air. I'd like that very much. As the alien and its guards departed, Dylan let out a long breath. You know, when they showed up, I was certain we were about to start an interstellar incident. Abigail watched the drone settle onto her workbench, its lights pulsing in a pattern she now recognized as contentment. Sometimes, she said, picking up her tools, the smallest acts of kindness create the biggest ripples. The drone chirped in agreement, and somewhere in the vast machinery of interstellar politics, the story of a human mechanic began to spread, a story that would change how 100 species viewed humanity. All because one woman chose to help when no one was watching.